Welcome to Thoughts on the Market. I'm Michael Zezas, Morgan Stanley's Global Head of Fixed Income and Thematic Research. Today on the podcast, I'll be talking about what investors need to know about tariffs. It's Wednesday, December 4th at 2 p.m. in London. There's still over a month before Trump takes office again. But in the meantime, he started sending messages about his policy plans. Most notably for investors, he started talking about his ideas for tariffs. He's floated the idea of tariffs on all imports from China, Mexico, and Canada. He's talked about tariffs on all the BRICS countries unless they publicly dismiss the idea of pursuing an alternative reserve currency to the US dollar. In short, he's talking about tariffs a lot. While we certainly don't dismiss Trump's sincerity in suggesting these tariffs, nor the ability for a president to execute on tariffs like these, well, mostly anyway, it's important for investors to know that the ultimate policies enacted to address the concerns driving the tariff threats could look quite different than what a literal interpretation of Trump's words might suggest. After all, there are plenty of examples of policies enacted on Trump's watch that address his concerns that were not implemented exactly as he initially suggested. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is a good example, where Trump advocated for a 15% corporate tax rate, but signed a bill with a 21% tax rate. Another is the exceptions process for the first round of China tariffs, where some companies got exceptions based on modest onshoring concessions. These examples speak to the idea that procedural, political, and economic considerations can shape policy in a way that's different from what's initially proposed. This is why our base case for the U.S. policy path in 2025 includes higher tariffs announced shortly after Trump takes office, but with a focus on China and some exports from Europe, and implementation of those tariffs would ramp up over time, as has been suggested by key policy advisors. There's broad political consensus on a stronger tariff approach to China, and there's already executive authority to take that approach. Something similar can be said about Europe, but with a focus more on certain products than across imports broadly. However, we see scope for Mexico to avoid incremental tariffs through negotiation, and a global tariff via executive order risks getting held up in court, and we're skeptical even a Republican-controlled Congress would authorize this approach. Of course, we could be wrong. For example, it's possible the incoming administration might be less concerned about the economic challenges posed by a rapid escalation of tariffs. So, if they start quicker and are more severe than we anticipate, then our 2025 economic projections are probably too rosy, as are our expectations for equities and credit to outperform over the next 12 months. The US dollar and US Treasuries might be the outperformer in that scenario. So stick with us. We'll be paying attention and trying to tease out the policy path signal from the media noise from the new administration. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts and share thoughts on the market with a friend or colleague today.
The preceding content is informational only and based on information available when created. It is not an offer or solicitation, nor is it tax or legal advice. It does not consider your financial circumstances and objectives and may not be suitable for you.